Hey guys, Jackie here. Sorry for the terrible lighting again. It is night and I really should plan these videos better. But anyways, this will be a September book haul part 1 because I am planning on getting a few more books in the mail, as we all tend to do at various times. Anyways, sorry, awkward pauses and weird stuff. Let's get started. The first book is The We Free Men by Terry Pratchett. I literally picked this up because of the cover. Definitely cover by. But also the blurb on the blurb on the back. What's not to love about a girl who takes on vicious monsters armed with only a frying pan? Seriously. Reminds me of Rapunzel, and I love Rapunzel. And I know it's not technically have anything to do with Rapunzel because it's about a girl who's a witch and like fairies and stuff like that. But I was like, heck yeah, I'm gonna get it. It was $10 plus I have 10% off with the Barnes & Noble membership. So I was like, heck yeah. And that is the first book. The next book is I bought at Hastings, which was having a buy 5 books for $20. And I was like, it's a pretty good deal because when you think about it, 5 books usually, like if you're buying them normal price at Barnes & Noble or like Amazon, is like $100. So the first book is This Wicked Game. All I know really is Voodoo Society. That's all I really know about this book. I do really like the cover. I thought it was very pretty, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. And so I grabbed it, and now I have it, and now it will be read, but probably not right away. Sorry. The next book is one that Casey Ann over at Dark Reads has been talking about and raving about and just all out fangirling over. And I saw it at Hastings on the used because obviously you can tell it's pretty beat up, but I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I need to get it because if Casey recommended it, like she just keeps talking about it and I want to see, and I actually really like it. It's about angels and I love angels, and it's about this girl who was in an accident and her brother dies, and that's all she really remembers until this guy Rafa comes to town and kind of basically tells her her life is a lie and that she is not who she thinks she is. And I was like, heck yeah. And I'm about like almost halfway through, but I started this yesterday, I think. But it's good. It's really good. It's a fast read. It's really easy read. It's fun. I really like this. I think it's really good. I actually thinking about buying the second one because even though I haven't finished it, and I do this thing where I have to finish the first book and actually like it before I buy the second. I know, super strange. Which is ironic because the next book. But yeah, Shadows by Paula Weston. Seriously, guys, if you like angels and you like cute boys, like check this book out because yeah, seriously, do yourself a favor. The next book is the irony part of my statement that I don't buy second books before I've read the first one, which is The Iron Daughter, the sequel to The Iron Queen, The Iron King. I don't know what the first one is. The Iron King. The Iron King. Saw this. It was $1, and I was like, I like Julie Kagawa. I like her Talon series. I think it's good. I'm gonna buy this one, and then I'll buy the first one and read it and see if I even like it. So that's what I did. The next book in the series is Carrie Diaries by Candace Bushnell. I love Sex and the City. That is like my jam, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. I love Sarah Jessica Parker, except for her one feminist comment she made a couple months ago or something. Stupid comment, Sarah. Sorry, I love you. Anyways, so when I saw this, I was like, that looks interesting. So I picked it up at my library and I read it, and I actually really liked it. And then I saw Summer in the City at my used at my library for sale, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. So I bought it, and then I saw this at Goodwill. I actually saw the paperback of the TV version with the TV cover, and I was like, I don't really like the TV version, but I'm gonna get it because it's $1. And then I happened across this, and I was like, it's $2, so I'm gonna get it. So I got this instead because it matches my Summer in the City, and it's prettier because it's hardback. The next thing I got, it's a thing because it's cards and a book, was my sister actually bought this for me. It's the Destiny Tarot cards. It comes in this little box, and it's got the cards in the book, and I'm really excited because that ties them to the next thing, which my sister also bought me, but she bought it for my birthday. And that is, I should have opened the box before turning this video on. Anyways, that is the Maggie Stiefvater. Sorry, there's like a glare, Jesus. Maggie Stiefvater tarot cards and the book, obviously, because you get it in this like fancy box. But she bought these for my birthday, and she ordered them before my birthday, which is back in July. So had to wait all that time for these, and now they're here, but they're too pretty to ruin, and I seriously want to like get into tarot cards because I absolutely love them. Anything to do with witches, really, I absolutely love, and like the occult and stuff, because I know witches, yeah. But I love it. And so when I saw this for $2.99 instead of like $20, I was like, yes, I'm gonna get this. And so my sister bought it for me, and I'm really happy, so thanks, sis. The next couple books, I actually won this giveaway and got a box of books, and a lot of them I've never heard of or have never like thought to read, but now that I have them, maybe I will. So the first book in this pile, we're gonna start with the arcs. I'm making dumb faces, I'm sorry, is Get Even by Gretchen McNeil. This is about like 4 girls who kind of like have bad things happen to them, so they decide to like team up and make this revenge scheme and get back at all the people who wronged them, which sounds interesting. I'm not a huge fan of the revenge novels. I do actually really want to read this because sometimes they're good. Sometimes bullies should get what's coming to them. That was mean. I'm sorry. You should never. Violence does not solve problems, basically. So the next book is Reawakened by Colleen Hooke. I really like her. I think she's a fantastic storyteller. I've read her Tyre's Curse series, and I thought it was really good. I have most of them because the like next 2, I think there's going to be 7 in the series, and the last 2 have not come out, something like that. But she started a new series, this one, about Egyptian gods and a girl, Lillian Young. And I've already read this, but it was really good, so I'm really glad I have the arc again because I'm going to buy the finished copy, and I like to collect arcs, and so I'm excited for that. Plus my sister hasn't read it, so I'm going to lend it to her so she can read it. Ooh, pretty. It's such a pretty like cover, like they put so much effort into the arc that I like it. I like it a lot. Sorry. The next book is The A Word by Joy Prebble. I don't know how to say your last name, sorry. This is a sequel. A lot of these are actually sequels, which is funny because I have to go out and get the first book. but I don't mind because they all look really interesting. But this one is about angels. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I've never looked into it, but I like angels, and I like angels. So we'll see. We'll see. Plus, I found that a lot of the books I absolutely love are books that I never planned to read, or I got, and like after I got them I just kind of put off reading them or dreaded reading them, and then I read them and I was like, oh my god, these are so good. Like how did I not want to read this? Like The Raven Boys, that was a book I actually won. I won an ARC and I put off reading it, and then I read it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to like drag myself through this, because sometimes I tend to do that with books. It's a bad habit. But I was like, okay, I'll read this. So I read it and I fell in love. It's like one of the first books I ever really got a book hangover from. So it was good. And the other book I've done that with is Jessica Spotswood, Born Wicked, which is about witches. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna enter. And I won it through a giveaway. And I was like, oh, so good, I'm gonna enter and win it and read it, and I did, and then I got it, and I was like, why did I enter? And then I read it, and I was like, oh my god, I love this. So I have all three, plus the ARCs, plus I have a Brazilian copy from Jessica Spotswood herself, like, really cool. Anyways, long-winded explanation. Sometimes the best books are the ones you never see coming. Am I right? Am I right? The next book is Lockwood & Co., The Whispering Skull by Jonathan Stroud. This looks interesting. I'm not gonna lie, like, that looks really cool. It also feels very middle grade to me. I don't know if am I the only one who gets that from this cover? Like, I kind of feel like, oh, this is another sequel. I'm just kidding. I don't mind. I don't mind going and reading books because, like I said, that was a little hard. Some books you just don't see coming. The next book is another one that is a sequel, and the first book is Scan, and this one is Burn by Walter Jury and Sarah Fine. Don't really know a whole lot about this. I don't like to read the back if it is a sequel because I tend to spoil myself, and so I'm just gonna kind of go and pick up the first one and see, and if I like, hopefully I like it, because it's got a cool cover. I like that, and you can see the glare. Yeah, so that looks good. Okay, on to the other books. This one is called Brood X by Michael Philip Cash. Again, not one I've ever heard of. I don't think I've ever seen this book. It's a YA book, but I've never seen it. So, and it looks kind of cool. I like the little, whatever this thing is on the front. I like that. So we'll see. We will see. Oh, it's a horror novel. I don't read a whole lot of horror novels. Like, especially like with October coming up, everyone's like, oh, what horror novels are you reading? And I'm like, I'm not reading any. Like, I don't read based on the season. I read based on my moods, and most of my moods are usually fantasy and sci-fi. So yeah. The next one is Sleep No More by April M. Pike. I read her Wings. I read the first book in her Wings series, and I really want to read Life After Theft. I've heard really good things about that one, but I've never heard of this one, so I'm really excited to read that. And it looks cool. It looks kind of creepy. It looks a little bit creepy. Maybe it'll be my like October. Maybe I'll do like a creepy October and actually read creepy books. The next one is another sequel. It's called Allure by Leah Nolan. Again, I don't know what this is about. I like the cover. I do. I think it's kind of cool. I'm not really sure what it's about, but I will have to go and get the first book and see. I will binge read all of these. Seriously, I'll go get the first one to every single novel. The next one is another series. It's the sequel. It's Across the Star-Swept Sea, which I'm not too mad about because I wanted to read For Darkness Shows the Stars. This is by Diana Peterfreund. Sorry. I know I read the summary for Darkness Shows the Stars a long time ago, but I can't remember what it's about. I honestly can't. I've heard good things. I've heard really good things about this series. I've been wanting to read it, plus the cover. I really like the cover. I think it's very pretty. Plus, she sent this to me, and it is signed, so that's pretty cool. I like that. The next book in the series is How to Love by Katie Cotugno. And this one is signed as well, and that's pretty cool. I did pick this up once, and then I put it at the library. I wanted to read it, and I was like, alright, like, it looks cute, I'll read it. And I ended up putting it back. I didn't really connect with it, but maybe I'll try again. And I like the cover change. I do. I really like this cover. But I hated 99 Days. Hated it. I don't like to say I hate books because there's always those people. I know I met someone at the Y'all Fest, and she absolutely loved 99 Days. So I can't really speak for everyone when I say I hate it. I think for me, I like to leave it open-ended, and I say this is how I feel, but you may be completely different. You may absolutely love this series, so give it a try, but I was not a fan. So hopefully this one is better. It looks cute. I'm not big on teen pregnancy novels, so we'll see. Again, if I don't like it, I will gift it to someone else. The next book is Valley of Fires by J. Barton Mitchell. Don't know what this is about. I do know it's a sequel. I've never actually heard of this. The cover's kind of cool. Like, she looks like she's just chilling, and he's like, we better run, and then there's like fire. And yeah, so I'll have to figure out what number this is in the series. Like, okay, if you're gonna write a series, write what number it is on the side, please, because that helps so much when I'm at a bookstore and I'm looking for a certain book and I find other books, but I don't know what number they are in the series. Like, it just helps. Come on. The next book is The Girl with the Wind-Up Heart, which sounds pretty cool. It's the Steampunk Chronicle, so I know it's by Katie Cross. I know there's more in the series. I don't know if it's like a companion or if it's like you have to read the whole series to get to this one. I don't know what number this is in the series, but kind of a cool cover. I like it. I haven't read a whole lot of steampunk. It's interesting. I will give it a shot. And the last book, finally, is Of Metal and Wishes by Sarah Fine. This, I really like this cover. I like how they did the like little curtain and then the, you know what I'm saying. This one I didn't really read a lot about. I've seen it on like Twitter and Instagram and Goodreads, and people have been saying how good it is and they really like it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, didn't really cross my radar, but now that I have it in my hands, like, I'm kind of excited. It looks really cool. I'm not gonna tell you a whole lot about what it's about, but again, I'm really excited to read this, and I know my sister is as well, so that's cool. If she likes it, if I hate it and she likes it, I'll give it to her. So yeah, that is my September book haul part 1, because I know I'm getting more books and I need to buy another bookshelf, especially since I'm moving and I have none of my books. None of my books. My books are all sitting in my parents' house. I'm going through book withdrawals. I just want my books here in my room, and I want to have them so I can touch them and rub them against my face. Anyways, now that I had a freak out and you guys saw that, I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!